I eat a lot of chicken, and last year I was on a mission to not pay $35 to $40 for pasture-raised chicken like I was, and raise it ourselves. In this video, I'm gonna show you how you can do it too. From what type to raise, to raising them on the pasture, to how much food to feed them, to the slaughter process so you can do it too. Hey, I'm Bill Allen at Hidden Gem Farm, and I'm gonna talk to you about us raising all of our chickens. So we had meat chickens last year for the first time, and I love chicken, probably a lot like you, but I also didn't wanna pay so much money. We have chickens on the farm, we have ducks on the farm, but they're all egg-laying ducks and chickens. What I wanted to do is I had to start researching what type of chicken do I want to raise for a meat chicken. So I started looking into that. We went with the Cornish cross. I would highly encourage you to go with that breed because they grow really fast and they grow really big quickly. And so what we wanted is we wanted 5 to 6 pound chickens, and you can get that in 7 to 8 weeks. I had never heard of that. Our chickens in 7 to 8 weeks were still tiny. The next step was building out a brooder. So we had a brooder. Sorry, chickens are hollering in the background. So we built a brooder, which was just a rubber bin with some shavings on the bottom and our food and water in there, and we raised them up with a plate heater inside of our garage. So I started raising my chickens in the spare bedroom. I would highly discourage you to do that in your house, but we put them in our garage because it was during the winter and it was warm in there. So after about 3 to 4 weeks, we moved our chickens out of there into a chicken tractor. I wanted to move these across the pasture so they could eat the bugs and grass and grow up and live inside of this chicken tractor. So what I did was I went to Facebook Marketplace and I started looking for chicken tractors. And I'm gonna show you the one that we bought. So this is the chicken tractor that we started with. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. There was a guy that made them. It took a couple weeks for him to make a few of them for me. I actually bought 2. So we were gonna put 20 in each tractor. So the math on this is you get about 2 square foot per chicken. These are 8 by 5. So 8 by 5 is 40 square feet. So my math said I could probably get 20 chickens in here. So one side is covered, the other side is open. So you want some coverage on top of your chicken tractor to keep them out of the sun. And what we would do is we put the chickens in here and they would just forage for the day. And then I would move it every single day. I can just lift it up, it's on wheels, and I just move it down the pasture. So inside of here, we had water and we had food. So this is not overly complicated. I'd come out here every day, give them food and water, and when they came out to pasture, I let them eat 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So what I did was I created a trough, a food trough, out of gutter. So I used metal gutter, and I put caps on it, and I just poured food in there on a food trough and put it in the grass. So we just moved them every single day, and the chickens from week 4 to week 8 lived in here until they got to about 5.5, 6 pounds and ready for slaughter. Let me show you where we actually moved them through the pasture when we raised ours. So right here is one of the alleyways that we have on our farm. We have about 6 feet wide alleyways. This one is between a hedgerow of peach trees and our tomato plants, so it's a little bit narrower. But what we did was we had zucchinis and squash around the time that we had our chickens, and they were starting to kind of time out. We had harvested enough zucchinis and squashes, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to move the chickens through our garden. And so what we did was we started at one end, and every day we just move them down another 10 feet. And what they would do is they would eat all the bugs and the grass and everything that was in there. And they would also, their droppings, all the chicken crap, would fertilize my area. And then when they went through, we'd till it up and then we plant our next crop. And we do crop rotations here at Hidden Gem. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to rotate our crops to the next cycle in our farm. So after 8 weeks, we got the chickens big enough to go off to slaughter and start preparing them for us to eat. We raised 41 chickens. There ended up being 21 and 20 in each tractor. And what we did was we grabbed them out of the tractor and we took them to a friend's farm because we didn't have all the harvesting equipment. We didn't have the scalder, we didn't have the chicken plucker, we didn't have the knives, we didn't have the tables, we didn't have the setup. So we took them to a friend's farm, Rising Glory Farm, amazing guy named Chris Carlo, and he showed us how to butcher our chickens. So hopefully by now you can see it's not really that difficult to raise meat chickens for you and your family. You can actually do it in just a grass pasture. It doesn't have to be exactly what we did. And in fact, this year we're moving our chickens through the grass pasture. We're gonna raise 800 chickens this year. So we're gonna add on to our produce CSA with chicken. We're also gonna do farm to table dinners, and we're gonna have a bunch for my family because 41 didn't really last us that long. So I want a couple hundred chickens to put in the freezer for me and my family so we have it the entire year. You can do this too. It's not that hard. I really enjoyed doing it, and I hope this helps. I hope now you see that this is something that you can do with your family if you're a homesteader, if you're a large farm that's doing produce. We have 80 different varieties of fruits and vegetables here. You can add this on to something that you're doing. If you run a CSA, it's a great opportunity to make some extra revenue on top of your CSA that can come in ahead of time, and you can make really good margins on chicken if you're selling it. So I hope this helps. If you guys got some value out of this, just subscribe to our channel, share the video, tell some other people about what we're doing, and come see us. If you're ever in Spring Hill, Tennessee, come see us at the Hidden Gem Farm. We're always here. We're happy to help, and the door is always open for you.